Space. What does space make you think of? The moon? The sun? What about the stars? Or rocket ships? Maybe even aliens? Space is everything outside of our world. How big is space? When you look up into the sky at night, you are looking into space. Everything you see in the sky looks tiny. That is because they are so far away from us. These objects are actually bigger than anything you have ever seen. Even bigger than that is the universe, which is bigger than anyone could possibly imagine. It is difficult to picture your place in anything that is so big you can't imagine it. That is why, in this video, we are going to discover
your place in space.
This is you. If you are watching this video right now, you are in Miss O's first grade classroom. You are sitting with your classmates. These are people you see every day. It is a small community. You are one of the many small classroom communities that make up Old Town Elementary School. Old Town Elementary School is in the city of Old Town, which is one of the many towns in Penobscot County. Penobscot County is in the state of Maine. The country you live in is even bigger than the state you live in. You live in the United States of America, which is on the North American continent. Is there anything bigger than our continent? Of course, that would be our world. We live on the planet Earth. Our planet is special because it is the only planet known where living things can survive on it. We have water and a gas in our air that we breathe called oxygen. We need these to live. Where is Earth in space? Earth is in a space community called the solar system. Our solar system has a sun in the center of it and 8 planets that revolve around it. The sun is our closest star. That is why it looks so big in the sky. Compared to the millions of tiny stars we see at night, the sun is only average sized. Some of the smallest stars we see in the sky are actually much bigger than our sun. The sun is a big ball of gases that gives off light and heat energy. Without the sun's light and heat, people, plants, and animals could not live on Earth because our planet would be just a cold, hard rock. How big is the sun? Our sun is huge. It looks small to us from Earth because it is so far away. Earth is tiny next to the sun. Pretend the sun is the size of a basketball. In that case, Earth would be the size of the point on a pin. You would need 1,000,000 Earths to make one sun. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun and the smallest of the 8 planets. Mercury is a rocky planet like Earth, only there is no water, plant, or animal life. Since Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, the side facing it is so hot the temperature can reach 870 degrees. Think about the summertime. We are hot and sweaty and get sunburns in temperatures of around 90 degrees. Because Mercury has very little air on it, it has a hard time holding in the sun's heat. So during nighttime, when Mercury is turned away from the sun, the temperature can reach as low as negative 297 degrees. The coldest temperature Earth ever had was negative 129 degrees. That was on Antarctica. For you to have to stay in for recess, it has to be 10 degrees or less outside. And to us, that is cold. Venus is the second planet from our sun. People say that if Earth had a twin, it would be Venus. They are similar in size, distance from the sun, and they are both rocky planets. However, there are no oceans or life on Venus either. This is because Venus is covered in layers of thick, hot, poisonous gas clouds. These clouds trap in the sun's heat, so Venus is even hotter than Mercury. These clouds also reflect the sun's light. That is why Venus is the brightest planet in the sky. It is often mistaken for a star. Earth, our planet, is the third one from the sun. We not only revolve around the sun, we also rotate. That means we spin in place on an invisible axis. This spinning causes us to have day and night. It is daytime on the side of the earth that faces the sun, while it is nighttime on the side that is turned away from the sun. One spin of the earth equals 1 day. There are 24 hours in one Earth day. The axis that Earth spins on is an imaginary line that runs through the center of the planet. The axis is tilted slightly. This tilted axis is what causes our seasons. When Earth revolves around the sun, the top half of the Earth is either pointing towards the sun or away from it. When it points towards the sun, it is summertime in the northern hemisphere because it is closer to the sun, which makes it warmer. When it points away from the sun, it is winter in the northern hemisphere. That is because it is farther away from the sun, which makes it colder. The southern, or bottom half of the Earth, is the opposite season of the north half. Let's compare Maine with Australia. So in January, in Maine, we have winter because we are in the northern half of the Earth. During this time, Australia is having their summer. This means that in July, while we are having our summer in Maine, Australia is having their winter. If you look up into the sky, you can see that our planet is not alone. We have the moon that revolves around the sun with us. Our moon not only revolves around the sun, it also revolves around us too. This is why the moon looks like it is different sizes and shapes throughout the month. When you look at a full moon, it has shadowy spots on it. Have you ever heard of anyone talking about the man in the moon? This is because these shadows make the moon look like it has a face. These shadows are called craters. Craters are large bowl-shaped indents on the surface of the moon. They are caused by pieces of space rock hitting the moon. The fourth planet from the sun is Mars. Mars is known as the red planet because its surface is covered with red dust. This dust is blown around in heavy dust storms. Have you ever been to the beach when it's really windy out? The sand blows in your face and hair and eyes, and sometimes it blows so hard that it hurts when the sand hits you. This is similar to Mars's dust storms. Only on Mars, the winds blow much faster and harder. Sometimes these dust storms even cover the entire planet. Have you ever heard of Martians? People once believed aliens lived on Mars. These aliens were called Martians. Scientists have discovered that there is no life on Mars. Mars doesn't have enough oxygen in its air for living things to breathe. It also doesn't have liquid water. Water only exists on Mars in the form of ice. That is because the average temperature on Mars is -81 degrees. Although this is the closest to Earth's temperature, it is still much too cold for anything to live on. These are the first 4 planets in the solar system. They are the closest to the sun, and they are all rocky planets like Earth. That is why they are called terrestrial planets. Terrestrial means Earth-like.